What is your American dream?
My American dream is basically, I don't want to be too wealthy, I don't really care. I just want to live an average life. I want to bring home some money to my parents because my parents are the ones who raised me. They gave me everything, they came from India here just so we could have a better life. So I just want them to have a good life and I want to be able to take care of them.
America is a really diverse place, rich in culture, and I hope it stays the same forever.
Live your life to the fullest and not having to worry about day-to-day problems that just keep on going on.
I don't have an American dream, but I do have a dream for America. It's just for equality and everybody to be in peace and everybody to treat others as they want to be treated.
My American dream is to become an NYPD and do well in future and make my parents proud.
My dream is already here. We own hotels, we own restaurants, what else you need? I'm good, thank you God.
I do have a dream and that's the reason I left my family in India to get some good money so they can have a good life in India. I want my family to be here, I will live with them. Maybe God fulfill my dream or not, that I don't know, but I'm trying my best.
Free, liberal society where everybody respects everybody and has a life together, right? Has a society together. That's what American dream is for me.
Everybody live happily and culturally rich at the same time, exploring their dreams and getting them.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Hello, everybody. It is Friday. And you know what that means? It's Fun Friday. We're already laughing because we can't wait to do our show and have fun with everybody. And also we can't wait for the show to be over and have Fun Friday weekend. So welcome everybody. And Abigail Taylor is the first person to say hello today. And she says, evening team. Jeff Bosey, number 2. He says, hello family one and all. Tamika Nelson says, hey y'all. Patrona Collins, hello Brad squad team. So right back at you, Patrona. Willie Williams, hey. He says, hey now. Abigail Taylor wants to know where Carol Anderson, the Tigers' cake is. I was wondering the same thing. Smiley Smith, just saying hi to Tamika. Nobody else matters, Smiley, except Tamika. Say hi team, hi squad, and a special shout out to Tamika maybe, but nope, just Tamika. Tamika, on the other hand, not saying hello back to Smiley, but instead saying, hey Brad, Kim, Yo-Yo, and Sam. Ooh, wow. Cordella Douglas, good evening, my family. Smiley Smith, coming back saying, hey Carol, what about us? Tamika Nelson, now figuring out that Smiley said right to her, hi, goes, hey Smiley, back. And Carol Anderson, the Tiger, hi Brad, Kim. Abigail Taylor Watson saying hello to her group. And Beverly Thompson saying hello. And finally, Abigail Taylor Watson saying, Smiley, Yo-Yo, and Kim, special big up to the boss, Brad Asset Lindo. By the way, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm only having fun because it's Friday. It's Fun Fridays. I love everybody. Barbara Lord, hey, what's happening? Dion Watson saying hello. And Stacey Ann Hodge saying, hey, y'all. Kiara Smith says hello. Dion Watson saying hello to Marge. Grandmama, who's going to be having dinner. I wonder if, since three's company, two's a crowd. I forgot what. Maybe it should be 4 people there. There's only 3 people going to dinner with Grandma. 2 people going to dinner with Grandmama. Kim and Yo-Yo. Maybe we should have another one. I don't know. Marcia Martin Hartley says hello to everybody. Jeff Bosey is pondering. He's pondering. He says, okay, I am now wondering. That's Brad on Perv Corner. I guess he's talking about our introduction. Who are the creepy shadow people? So now, Jeff, let me explain something to you. When in the countdown, right, in that 5-minute countdown, Jeff wants to know who the creepy people are in the background if I'm on Perv Corner. Okay, first of all, that is not Perv Corner. That is the corner right here on Broadway and VZ. The creepy people in the background when the cartoon person who we hired said, what should they look like? We sent a picture of Jeff Bosey. So therefore, Jeff, you are looking at yourself, the creepy people in the background. It is just a whole bunch of Jeff Boseys running around in the background. Dawn Harriet, hello. Uh-oh, I just lost everybody. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying hello to everybody. And Carrie Ann Wallace. And Lisa Bling Rose joining in on the fun. And on and on and on and on and on we can go. And Belgium Kim, are we almost ready for you? Belgium Kim. Demba Sow says hello, hello. Yvonne Steele joining in. And who else we got? A lot of other people. Cordella Douglas. Wendy Brown says one love. All right, so a couple of notes before we get into our show. Yesterday, congratulations to the entire Brad squad for hitting 700 shares. And we said that we were going to pick out of the hat. Let's hear. I like doing that. Let's one more clap. All right, so we were going to pick out of the hat everyone in the Brad squad. And it sounded like a great idea at the time to pick out of a hat. Except we have over 600 people in the Brad squad now. So Belgium Kim came to me around 3, 4 o'clock. She said, Brad, how in the world would you like me to write 600 people's names down on a piece of paper and stick it in a hat? So I said, you know what? It's a very valid point, Belgium Kim. I don't have an answer for you. So she's like, it's not like we, before where we just put, 6 people and we picked out of a hat and Marge won the dinner. So instead, we went to our trusted friends. They're not our sponsors yet. Maybe one day they will be, but they're not our sponsors yet. A small little, tiny little company called Amazon. And we typed in, what was the word we typed in?
Lottery
ball machine. And believe it or not, there's a lot of lottery ball machines on Amazon to pick from. So we ordered a lottery ball machine. It is to be delivered on Monday. We will have fun with it on Monday here in the studio. And on Tuesday, everybody who is part of the Brad squad, tune in on Tuesday because we're going to take out our lottery ball machine and we're going to pick out a lottery ball. And on that lottery ball is going to be either the name of person or a number that is associated with somebody in the Brad squad. We have to see how the lottery ball machine works.
Yeah, it's slips of paper.
It's a slips of paper.
Slips of paper with
Okay, it will be
people's
slips
names
of paper. It's going to be like one of these things.
Right.
You roll around.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just going to be rolling around a bunch of slips
Belgium
of paper.
Kim's going to dress up as, what's her name? Maria Vega?
Yeah, Maria Vega.
Vega.
I'll be there in a slinky little glittery dress.
Yolanda Vega.
Yolanda
Vega. Thank you very much. I couldn't remember her first
Vega
name.
was right.
Right. And we're going to pick out, and somebody's going to win the lottery. Now, unfortunately, it's not the Mega Millions. It's a $25 Amex card. But we got to start somewhere. So that is what we're going to do on Tuesday, everybody. God willing, we get everything. And Belgium Kim says, yes, she has a lot of valid points. And we said hello to everybody. And now Belgium Kim is all ready to go.
No, she's ready.
I told Belgium Kim was not ready when the show started.
No.
So I said, don't worry, Belgium Kim.
I got this.
I got it. I can talk for a while before I need to say hello to you. and Belgium Kim said to me, she says, you're going to screw me. And as soon as you go on, you're going to ask me a question. I'm not mic'd up and I have nothing. And I said, would I do that to you? And she said, absolutely,
yes,
you would. But I didn't.
I'm truly shocked. I was waiting. I had my hand on the microphone the whole time just in case I had to pick it up to talk to my little mouthpiece.
So any event, the reason why is we started a new thing on Instagram today. And so if you don't have time to watch the 2 hours of our show, if you go to our Instagram page and follow us on Instagram in the stories, we are doing a 3-minute recap of the best of the best of the best of the previous day's show. Mm-hmm. So every day, if you don't have time to watch the full 2 hours, you can go to our Instagram story and watch the best of the best of the show from the day prior, like 2 or 3 minutes of the best of the best. And it's not a 3-minute segment. It's 10, 15 seconds cut up, the best of the best going across. Basically, you watch the whole show in 3 minutes. And you have to follow us to get that because it is exclusively and only at Brad Show Live on Instagram. So please follow us on @Brad Show Live on Instagram. When we started that today. And because we started it today, and I put Belgium Kim in charge.
Yep.
You know, she's not just a pretty face.
No, she's not. Although she is that.
She is not just a hearty laugh.
Oh, she is that as well.
Yes.
But not just.
Not just a big brain.
Oh, huge.
Huge. Right?
But not just.
Not just the life of the party.
Not just.
Not just.
Although that's a guarantee.
That is a guarantee, right. She is, in addition to that, in charge of cutting up the best of the stories for 3 minutes. I have put her in charge. I said, who better to decide what was the best 3 minutes of the show than Belgium Kim?
That's
I
true.
mean, she's right there doing it.
She's doing it. She's in it.
So it took a little bit of time today because it was the first time we're doing it.
Yep.
But I ask everybody to check it out and follow us on @Bradshaw Live on Instagram. And every day, so sometime over this weekend, in Belgium Kim's travels, while she's in the back of an Uber or on the subway or maybe at the beach or at the pool,
Oh my God, I'm
or at
having
the
a
local
great
or at the local
weekend.
pub, or during a slow part of the movie,
Yeah.
right? Or I don't know if Beyonce and Jay-Z are putting on another show. I know they were last night. I saw it in the news.
I think tonight.
Tonight,
is
yeah. So
night two.
maybe if, during costume changes of Beyonce.
Yeah, when I'm hanging with Beyonce.
When you're hanging backstage with Beyonce, whatever it is that Belgium Kim, you have a great weekend coming up.
My
by the way.
God, it's
Yes,
amazing. It's a good thing you
weekend.
told me.
She will be slicing and dicing the best 3 minutes of this show.
Correct.
I will assure you that the first 15 minutes of the show will not be diced. There's nothing great that we've done so far, I don't think.
Are you kidding? We spent like 5 whole minutes talking about Belgium Kim. That's the whole story right there. Are you kidding me?
It could be. It could be. It could be.
That's what happens when you put
Right.
Belgium Kim in
So
charge of this.
That is right. So please follow us at Bradshaw Live on Instagram and every day moving forward, if you want to just catch the best of the best, the highlights of the show, the lowlights of the show.
Right.
All right. There could be some highlights and lowlights. You just watch us at Bradshaw Live. And by the way, Jeff Bosey, the construction ball is coming any minute. He says that if I keep boasting about Belgium Kim, we'll need a bigger studio. I already have the construction people. They're already on their way. All right, they will be working overnight. Our studio will be twice as large on Monday.
And we're gonna need that door to be much wider.
Much
my
wider.
head will never fit through that. My bun is getting smaller on top of my head by the
Yes,
second.
I see. So that's what's going on. And hello to the entire squad. And by the way, people always want to know, how do you become a member of the Brad Squad? Well, on Facebook, if you go to Bradshaw Live on Facebook and you go to join the group, the Brad Squad group, you can become a member of the squad. All that we would require of you ahead of time is that you have made at least one comment in our Facebook feed or on our YouTube feed, because don't forget YouTube. Okay, Bradshaw Live on YouTube. We're on both feeds right now, both Facebook and YouTube. All we require you to do is at least make one comment. You can say hello. You can ask a question. You can be, say something snarky or funny, like, Kim's ego is too big now.
Yeah.
You
or
know?
Kim is so beautiful, I can't stand it.
Or you could say, hey, Kim, what are you doing tomorrow night? Would you like to go on a date with me?
And then I will vet you.
Whatever you want, just make a comment. It really doesn't matter. And then you can join Brad Squad, and then you can be part of all of our fantastic contests that we have here. Today, it's just fun day. No contest today.
Okay.
There will be no contest today. However,
we can't afford it.
We cannot afford it.
We can't afford
Not
it.
with all these construction people coming for your ego. All right, but on Monday, please tune in. We're going to have another contest on Monday. We will be giving something away, and I don't want to give it away right now, but it will be something that everybody will be very happy about.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
I don't think we like to give away things that people are unhappy about.
We try not to.
We try not to.
They started to try to be unhappy at the $25 yesterday,
but we stood our ground.
Whipped them back into shape.
Yeah, people are like, give an iPhone away. Come on.
Yeah.
Give like 10 American Express cards away. And we stood our ground like good lawyers.
Yep.
We are.
Yep.
And we said, nope, this is it. And you know what? By the end of the show, they all came around.
They came around. They shared 700 times, and they loved it. I have a feeling like you guys are going to go crazy when we start picking names one day.
All right. So, everybody, let's get into a little schmooze before we get to all of our telephone calls. Right? Mm-hmm. And by the way, the telephone number to call, we will be taking your immigration calls in about 10 minutes or so at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Even though we don't have a game today or a contest, I do want everybody to please follow Bradshaw Live on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. We want to get to 5,000 subscriptions on YouTube in the next 28 days. That is our goal.
Yep.
So please subscribe on YouTube, okay? And that way, when you follow and like Bradshaw Live on Facebook and you subscribe on YouTube at Bradshaw Live, you will be notified every time we come live on the air. As a matter of fact, on your phone, on the little app, if you get on the YouTube app, there's a button on the bottom that says subscriptions. It will light up. There will be a button that lights up that says something live that you're subscribed to is there, and hopefully you're subscribing to Bradshaw Live, and you'll see us come live every day, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. The other thing I do have to remind everybody is also we have a Twitter feed. Okay, and the way we're going to do our social media check-in is YouTube first. YouTube questions come in first.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, Instagram second.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube third.
Yep.
No, I already said YouTube. Twitter third.
Twitter third.
Facebook fourth.
Facebook fourth.
That's how we're going to do it. So if you want to make sure you get your social media question in first, you subscribe to YouTube, you ask your question on YouTube, then we'll go to Instagram, then we will go to Facebook, and then finally, no, I'm sorry, Twitter.
Twitter. And
I've done it backwards 3 times. Nobody has any idea. Nobody has any idea where the social media questions are coming from.
Yeah, they're going to be like, I'm just going to write my question on every single platform and hope they answer.
So any event, I have too many cards here in my hand here. Less cards is better.
Less cards is better.
Less cards is better.
Okay.
I get so much information here.
You're overloaded.
I'm overloaded with information.
It's a good team you got there.
Yeah, it is a fantastic team. By the way, I want you to know something. Everybody thinks I just do this show by myself. It is an entire team of like 10 people who work tirelessly, led by Jill, Muta, Patrice, Jenny, Jillian. Who else we got? Anna down in Miami. Yo-Yo.
Yep.
Karen down in North Carolina. We got people, South Carolina. We got people all over the place.
Quite the team we got.
Quite a team.
Absolutely.
Okay. You think I just can come on here and just start? I can't. They give me cards. They dress me. All right, every day.
They do. They make you look good with the camera angles.
Camera angles. They're yelling in my ear the entire show.
Making you sound real smart.
Right, when I'm really, who knows?
Like, what's the name of that thing? Oh, yeah, I pulled it out of thin air.
That's right. So, any event, one thing I wanted to talk about today, and we're going to get to the reason why I'm talking about it in a second.
Okay.
So by the way, please, in what I would love for everybody to do is if in the comments, if you can also, what would be the word, big up or shout out?
Yeah.
Or big up?
Yeah, shout out, call out.
Call out.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
The entire team.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
send some love to the team.
That whole entire scroll at the end, the whole show doesn't work without them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
Send the love to the team, man.
That's right.
Throw some hearts in there. Make some little clapping hands. Thank you, team.
That's correct.
They make us look good.
Thanks, team.
Thanks, team.
So, in any event, I want to talk about denaturalization a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Since World War II, the only people that I'm aware of that have been literally denaturalized have been Nazis. Maybe there's been some other random cases that I'm not aware of.
Right.
But basically, the only time you ever see anybody being denaturalized is Nazis. I don't think there's any Nazis left anymore. I think they're all dead.
Yeah.
From World War II.
That hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the reason why they were being denaturalized is because they pretended to be somebody else when in fact they were like a Nazi death camp guard or something to that effect. So now, unfortunately, for many people who are naturalized U.S. citizens, Donald Trump has put together a team. He is spending $207.6 million This is not a paltry chump of change.
Wait, say that number again?
$207.6 million to look at cases where people, yep, the Joker from Batman 4.
Resting smirk face.
Resting smirk face.
Resting smirk face.
He will be spending $207.6 million to look for cases of fraud. Fraud in getting the green card, fraud in people who got green cards who ultimately became citizens.
Wow.
And he's hiring over 300 people to work at the Department of Homeland Security to look into possible cases.
Wow.
Now, they're going to look at all different types of fraud. One of the frauds they will be looking into are people who were previously ordered deported and then re-entered the United States under a fake name and then ultimately got a green card under that fake name and then ultimately got citizenship under that fake name. But they will also be looking at all sorts of fraud. People who may have committed marriage fraud. Mm-hmm. Any fraud is up for possible denaturalization.
Whoa.
Now, here's a statistic. I never, in my career, and I think I've handled every possible case.
Right.
I will say the only case that has never come across my desk, where I never met with somebody, was somebody who's being denaturalized.
It's that rare.
It's that rare. And I think I've handled everything.
Tens of thousands of cases have crossed your desk.
Correct.
Never.
So now here's a statistic that Jilly Bean is giving me.
Okay.
Okay, I believe Jilly Bean.
We believe Jilly Bean.
Right. She says from 1990 to 2017, so that's 37 years. Mm-hmm. In 37 years, there was a total of
1990 to 2017.
In 27 years, there was a total of 305 denaturalization cases that were pursued, an average of 11 per year. And that doesn't even mean just because they were pursued that the person actually got denaturalized.
Right.
It was just 3 that they looked into. Okay.
11 per year.
11 per year. Now they are going to look at 700,000 cases. That doesn't mean they're going to try to denaturalize 700,000 people, but what they're trying to do is to look into 700,000 cases to see if any of these cases should be. These are people who were previously in deportation or considered fraudulent cases.
Wow. Isn't there like an incredible administrative backlog of current visa applications?
Yes.
And instead we're going to have people review people who are already citizens?
Yes.
That's preposterous.
So last summer, just to put a little color into all of this.
Yeah.
Last summer, the Supreme Court heard a court case about whether or not the U.S. government can actually even revoke somebody's citizenship.
Can denaturalize, right?
The U.S. attorney argued that it could denaturalize anybody for any crime they wanted. Even something as small as driving 5 miles over the speed limit. As an example provided by Justice Roberts, he said if somebody's driving 5 miles over the speed limit and they get convicted of that, you denaturalize them.
Right.
And Justice Stephen Breyer even went further, because that's what Roberts, who's the head of the court, asked the U.S. attorney, and Justice Breyer went one step further. He said, and I'm quoting Justice Breyer, he says, "It's rather surprising that the government of the United States thinks that the naturalization law should be interpreted in a way that would throw into doubt the citizenship of a vast percentage of naturalized citizens." Once you're a naturalized citizen, you should feel a sense of security that you are a citizen for life.
Right.
Because if not, maybe somebody who's born in America could also
be denaturalized.
At some point, or de-citizenshipped at some point. So in a statement, Citizenship and Immigration Services, this is their position now.
Okay.
They say nobody who obtained U.S. citizenship by deliberately assuming a false identity will be surprised to learn that they're being referred to the Justice Department for denaturalization. USCIS screens for deliberate acts of fraud relating to forgery, the use of false identities, and we're going to go to great lengths to make sure that all these people are prosecuted.
Oh my God.
So, with that being said, why we're saying all of this. Now, none of this has happened yet. I don't want to scare anybody. Okay?
But even just the prospect
of all of this happening.
Very scary.
All right? Yesterday, Ivanka Trump, the first daughter,
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's, we got to put this all into perspective here.
Okay.
Okay. And it's going to come full circle in a second, Belgium Kim. You're going to understand why I'm talking about all of this.
Okay. Because that was.
Okay. So yesterday, Ivanka Trump was asked, I guess, is this an online magazine, Axios? Is that an online magazine? AXIOS? I don't know what it is.
She's speaking somewhere.
What is Axios, Jill? We don't know. But somewhere she was speaking.
Right.
Online.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. And it's very funny? I'm going to go off subject for a second. I was watching Don Lemon the other day on CNN. Right, I love Don Lemon. I was watching him the other day, and he didn't know the answer to something, and he stopped the interview and he asked his producer a question like, what's the name of this movie?
Right.
And I said, I'm not the only person. Don Lemon does it too.
You're like Don Lemon.
No, I'm not saying I am Don Lemon.
I'm saying you're like Don Lemon.
I'm saying you don't notice these things until you do it yourself. So anyway, so I didn't know what Axios was, so Jill just told me in my ear.
Right.
So Axios is an online magazine, and Ivanka Trump was interviewed, and she was being interviewed about the separation of children at the border.
Right.
And I'm going to quote Ivanka Trump. She says, "This was a low point for me." She says, "I feel very strongly about that. I am very vehemently
Oh my God, she's vehement.
against family separation and the separation of parents and children. The key point that she said is it was a low point for me. She talked about the daughter. She talked also about being the daughter of an immigrant. Ivana, her mother, Donald Trump's first wife, was an immigrant to the United States of America. And she referred to her mother, Ivana Trump, who immigrated to the United States of America from Czechoslovakia. And then Ivanka said something very, 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 very contradictory to the Trump
administration
history.
So there's a contradiction happening inside the White House?
Yes.
No.
She made it very clear that even though it's a low point for me, the separation of these children, we are still a country of laws, and that her mother entered the country legally.
She says her mother
entered the country legally.
Okay.
Okay, we are a country of laws. My mother even entered the country legally.
Okay.
Okay. And that the family separations are a low point for her. So let's first get to the low points. Okay, Twitter had a couple of statements about Ivana having the low point for the administration. Okay, Shelby Jarima said she could have shown more empathy for the children, but no, it was a low point for me.
Right.
Like father, like daughter.
Right.
Amy Carhu said, I'm sure the children living in cages feel very badly for her and her father. It must be so hard to deal with the lows while living the high life. I'll be sure to send thoughts and prayers to Ivanka Trump because it was such a low point in her life.
I'm so sad that was tough for her.
It was very tough for her. And finally, Leanne Luman said, if I wanted to create a robot that appeared to be human, I would use Ivanka Trump as a blueprint by which it should be built.
That's fantastic.
All right. So, what does all this mean? Let's discuss. Let's go back and review what we've discussed so far.
And what we know.
Okay. What we know so far.
What do we know?
Okay. What we know is there is. Where is this? $207 million, did I say?
Yeah,
$207 million by Donald Trump.
Yep.
Being put in to fret out. Is that the word?
To fret out.
Fret out. To
suss out.
Suss out to. To discover. Look at that.
Oh.
He's pointing at me.
He is pointing at me. With his resting smirk
With his
face.
resting smirk.
Every
Why is he
single
pointing at me? That's very scary. I don't want him pointing at me. So he's going to ferret out.
Right. Yep.
That was the word I'm looking for.
Ferret out.
Ferret out fraud.
Yeah.
In naturalization and the immigration process. And anybody he's going to spend $200 million, and any immigrant who is now legal or who is a citizen, who was discovered by reviewing all their documents, actually committed fraud, we're going to kick them out, even if they're a citizen of the United States of America.
Doesn't matter, they're out.
Doesn't matter. And that's going to happen, and we're going to put 1,000 people from the Department of Homeland Security on this. We're going to put $200 million into this, and we're going to kick them out. Doesn't matter what their history was. Doesn't matter what their fraud was. Doesn't matter if they got children here. Doesn't matter if they got family here. They committed fraud. Get out.
Get out of here.
Okay, that's what Donald Trump wants to do.
Okay.
Now, Ivanka says the low point for her was the separating of the children, but you have to understand we're a country of laws and they were breaking the laws.
Right. So those babies should go in cages.
Right. And then she even pointed out that her mother, Ivana, legally entered the United States of America.
Right.
So now let's get to Ivana.
Oh, there's something with Ivana.
Let's get to Ivana. Okay. Where is Ivana here? So, was Ivanka Trump's mother a legal immigrant? The answer is not really. Not really. She entered the United States legally in 1972 on a visitor's visa, like many people. Most people enter the United States legally. They don't want to cross the border.
Right.
Most people who are here out of status overstay their visas.
Right.
These are all people that Donald Trump wants to kick out.
Right.
Including his first wife who overstayed her visitor's visa. She actually even admitted it in her autobiographical book.
No.
Yes, she did. But the story of Ivana, I'm reading it here, captures how permeable the legality line is.
Exactly.
She entered in 1976, and she made it from Czechoslovakia to Canada, then entered legally on a visitor's visa from Canada to the United States, or on a work visa to work as a promoter for the Montreal Olympics. In New York, she met Donald Trump and married him the following year. But it took a visa scam for her to leave her native Czechoslovakia. In 1972, Ivana was dating a guy by the name of George Sirovatka.
Okay.
She married an Austrian friend by the name of Alfred Winkelmeyer.
So not the guy she was dating?
No. In 1990, at a news conference during the divorce trial for Ivana and Donald Trump, Kennedy, who was her then boyfriend, said that Ivana and Winkelmeyer married for the sole purpose of her to get out of Czechoslovakia.
So it was a green card marriage?
It was a green card marriage, correct.
For a Canadian?
Right, correct, for Canadian visa.
Oh my God.
Right, other than that, she would never have gotten out of Czechoslovakia. She would never have gotten out.
So even Ivana Trump had to break immigration laws.
Correct. She broke the immigration laws to get into Canada.
Chasing a better life for herself.
Chasing a better life for herself.
Gee.
That is right. Gee, haven't we heard that one before?
Who would want such a thing?
Yes. As a matter of fact, in the book, it says that she never actually lived together with this man. They never had sex. But she did receive an Austrian passport as a result of her marrying this man, and she used the Austrian passport to make it to Canada, and then from Canada used it to enter the United States, and then made a legal entry, stayed in the United States for over a year, and God knows what status she was
while
here.
Happening,
she was certainly not a visitor for 1 year.
Right.
Eventually married Donald Trump, who then adjusted her status. So Ivana committed marriage fraud to get an Austrian passport, to then enter Canada, to then use that Austrian passport to legally enter the United States, live here in God knows what status for 1 year until 1972, until she met Donald Trump, who then married her and filed her adjustment.
Oh my God.
And then became a citizen of the United States in 1988. Now, there was no marriage fraud in the United States, so she would not be denaturalized. The marriage fraud was to get the Austrian passport to get out of Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
But how hypocritical of the Trumps, of Ivanka, of Donald Trump to say we only want people who will follow the law. This is 1972.
Right.
Okay? When it was a lot easier and a lot more liberal laws than there are today.
Yeah.
And the mother of Ivanka Trump and the first wife of Donald Trump had to commit marriage fraud to be able to immigrate.
And yet she did it because she felt like that would make her life better.
That is correct.
And she turned out to be Ivana Trump, so it kind of worked in her favor.
Right. So in the United States, had this happened in the United States, marriage fraud carries a prison sentence of up to 5 years and a fine of $250,000. Convenience marriages contracted in order to obtain immigration status are also illegal in Austria and Canada. So she committed marriage fraud both for Austria and Canada, although she didn't use she used the Austrian passport to enter the United States and overstay her time here, and then ultimately marry Donald Trump and get her green card.
Well, given that she entered the United States on a passport that she obtained fraudulently, wouldn't there somehow then be recourse to denaturalize her here?
No, because the fraud was on the Austrian government, not on the
U.S.
maybe the
government.
Austrian government wants to take her passport away.
Right.
So in the book, in the autobiography for Ivana Trump.
Yeah.
I get them confused, Ivana and
Yeah,
Ivanka.
that's hard.
In the autobiography, basically it ends saying she wanted her freedom. Kennedy, who was her then boyfriend, she wanted her freedom. Her lawyer, I'm sorry, she wanted her freedom. Kennedy said of his client's sham marriage. And here we are in 2018, and her first husband is saying people need to follow the law, but there are no laws to follow.
Right.
Okay, people are desperate. People are desperate for better lives, just like Ivana was desperate for a better life.
Exactly.
Okay, and Ivanka to sit here and say, well, you know, it's their fault they're being separated because they're not following the law, but my mother entered the country legally is not necessarily the case, because her mother did enter the country legally, but it was based on a sham marriage that she got through a fraudulent Austrian passport that she was never deserving of, and then lived out of status in the United States, working illegally until she married Donald Trump and got her green card. But that's okay.
The hypocrisy, I feel like, never ends. Every day we discover something else where it's like, oh, by the way, he's saying one thing and living life completely differently.
Finally, before we get to all of our immigration.
Yeah.
Before we get to all of our immigration.
Before we get to immigration.
Because we got to end on a high note here.
We love a good high note.
Yes. Did you hear about the bear sitting in the hot tubs, sipping the margaritas?
No, but I want to join that bear.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, a bear who apparently couldn't take the temperature anymore because it was getting hot.
Yeah.
Up in Altadena, California.
Oh, it gets hot.
It gets hot.
That dry heat really gets you.
Okay, couldn't take it anymore. So the bear snuck into somebody's backyard, and apparently they had a margarita next to the hot tub, and the bear sat in the hot tub next to the margarita that was left there. And Mark Hugh of Altadena, California, filmed the encounter in which the bear was spotted lazing around the hot tub with the margarita in the background.
He does look like he is chilling in that hot tub. Like he is kicking back.
Yeah, the man told the Associated Press, I just thought that was hilarious. The man told the Associated Press he mistook the bear climbing a fence into his yard as a noise from the neighbor's property. So I got up, looked over in the bushes, and lo and behold, there's a bear climbing over my fence into my hot tub and drinking the margarita that I left on the side of the hot tub. He recorded the video of the bear in the hot tub with the jets on.
That's amazing.
The jets were on. And he said the bear was having a good old time. The bear actually drank the margarita, got up, stumbled out.
Yeah, as a bear does.
As a bear does. He must have been a little drunk. All right, then took a nap. He looked at the fence.
No, he didn't.
He looked at the fence. I guess he was a little drunk. He looked at the fence, said, I'm not going to make it over the fence.
No way.
And then he just took a nap next to the fence. You know, he slept off the margarita. And then went away.
Absolutely. I never thought I'd want to be a bear, but I really want to be a bear right now.
That was very funny, though. Yeah.
That's adorable.
All right, so Kim, before we get to our immigration questions, please ask everybody to share for us.
You guys, there's no share game today, so what you're going to have to tap into is your good heart. You share the show with all of your friends. You just hit that arrow, and you can share it on your own timeline, on your friend's timeline, in a private message, or you can even just copy the link and send it to someone directly via text message or anything like that. So you share the show out of the goodness of your heart. It's good information that people really need to know, and we're going to be answering your immigration questions right now, so it's a good time to do it.
All right. And don't forget, we got our grannies coming up between our immigration questions and social media. So we are looking forward to seeing where our grannies are today on our caravan.
Man.
But right now, we are going to go to our immigration questions in a segment we call You Got Answers, I Got Questions. We're getting answers to all of our immigration questions. Every day, the segment changes, right?
Single day.
Every day. Nobody has any answers. I'm the one with the answers.
Right. That's why, and that's a lot of times you start with "You got answers, I got questions," and it's like that's going to be a weird show.
That's a weird show. All right, Glam Mama with an answer to my question.
Exactly.
You know, you're on line one. Jeff Bosey with an answer.
It's just two people asking you questions all show long.
All right, let's go to Shauna, who's been waiting 30 minutes in Hartford, Connecticut. Shauna. Hi, Shauna.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
What's going on?
I'm just calling to inquire about something that I see stamped in my passport. I came up on a J1 visa.
Yep.
And I see B-Ray subject to Section 212E. Two-year rule does apply.
Correct.
What does that mean?
That means you have a 2-year home residence requirement. That means that you cannot change your status to any other status, and you can't get a green card until you go home for 2 years and remain at home. It's either because you're on a skills list that's in short supply in your home country, or part of your program is being financed by the U.S. government.
Okay.
All right. So what are you here to do?
I'm here. I'm working at a camp.
Are you working at a camp doing what?
As a camp counselor.
I don't think, okay, so that's the Immigration Service, that's the U.S. State Department screwing you. There's no shortage of camp counselors in, where are you from? In probably anywhere in the world. Where are you from? Where are you from?
Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica.
Okay, there's no shortage of camp counselors in Jamaica. So unless the government's paying for you to be the camp counselor, which I doubt, I guarantee you that if we look on the skills list that's in error.
Okay, so what if I want to stay in America?
We have to first look to make sure that's an error. I can't confirm it, but I would guess it would be. So we have to look at that, and then if it's an error, then we could look to try to change your status to something else and show immigration that's an error, because that cannot possibly be that there's a shortage of camp counselors in Jamaica.
So where do I look?
You can Google it online, or you can come see me, and I'll do it for you.
Oh.
I think you're better off that I do it for you, so you know that you're looking at the right thing.
Okay, and how can I see you?
Okay, it's a very magical thing. I put you on hold, somebody picks up and makes an appointment for you to come see me. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Donovan in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Donovan.
Wagwan, man.
What Guan?
No squeeze today, man.
No squeeze for about 9 months now. What's happening?
We just have a question. It's fine for me removal of condition, and they send me a letter saying my status have been extended for 18 months. I was wondering why for so long.
Because they're way backed up.
Okay.
So it's normal. It's normal.
Okay, so that means I know.
Don't expect to hear nothing for 18 months.
For 18 months, bro.
Correct.
That's a long time.
That is a very long time. I'm not saying that this is a good thing. I'm just the messenger. But yeah, it shouldn't. 5 years ago, it was a 9-month process. Now it's 18 months. Sometimes even bordering 2 years.
So that means somebody can file for my citizenship before.
I would say to you that if you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse, you have children, joint tax returns, and a very clean record, after 3 years since you got your conditional card, if you haven't heard from them, you should file your citizenship. You can absolutely do it, even if you haven't got a decision. But only if you have a straight, clean, 100% your marriage is kosher, 100%, no issues whatsoever. You have your taxes done together, your bills together, your joint economic relationship together.
All of them things they will get them already.
I know.
All of those things together.
I know, because no one's going to look at your case for 18 months. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
All right. So if at 3 years you're interested in doing your citizenship, come talk to me.
Okay. All right.
Hang in
All
there.
right.
Hang in there.
Yeah, respect.
All right. Respect. Wagwan. You like my patois?
You have great patois.
No, I
although
do
between
not have
the
great.
two of us,
I do not. I do not.
I don't
But
think we should patois.
That's the best I can do. They say Guan, Gwon.
Right.
What's going on?
No, I understand. I love but I don't feel like neither you or I have really.
I shouldn't be doing it.
We don't have the patois market cornered.
I should not be doing it. Just like I shouldn't be doing a French accent either.
That is very much the same thing.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. Jolene in Austin, Texas.
Yes, hi, how are you?
How are you?
Could be better. Hopefully you guys can give me an answer.
Okay, what's going on?
Okay, so I am married to a Mexican. He currently is in Mexico. We got married, by the way, after he was picked up in Texas.
Okay.
But it was his second time, but what they did was a voluntary departure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was told I cannot try to get a marital visa because once you do a voluntary departure, you relinquish all rights of ever coming to the United States. And I keep getting different stories from different attorneys.
All right. So this is the stories. If you take a voluntary departure, you cannot return to the United States for 5 years without a waiver. So you could always file a waiver. However, if he was ordered deported twice, now he took a voluntary departure, so he didn't have a second order of deportation. But if
Correct.
you are in the United States, you get ordered deported, and then you're back and you get ordered deported a second time, you have a 10-year bar, no waiver. So, so assuming he was ordered deported once, then he came back, they picked him up and took a voluntary departure, he should only have one order of deportation. He should theoretically be eligible for a waiver. Theoretically, I would have to look at the file.
Okay, because I have a friend who does work for ICE, and when they did a check, there's no penalties or anything on there. I'm on that one. This is important. I'm sorry. There's nothing going.
Okay.
There's
So
no penalties,
then
which is
presumably, based on what you're telling me, and again, I'm just going on what you're saying to me. In these situations, I wouldn't file anything. I wouldn't do anything and do anything based on what I'm telling you to do unless I physically see all the records of what happened. Okay? But based on what you're telling me, I would say to you, you can file for him and there should be waivers available.
Okay.
All right.
That's the first time I've heard the word waiver, so that's good news.
Okay, so hold on one second and have a consultation. Step one is let's get the records and figure it out.
Okay.
All right, hold on. All right, let's go to Cindy in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Cindy.
Oh, hello.
Oh, how are you? Hold on one second, Cindy. Oh, all right, well, I'll talk to you, Cindy, first, and then I'm going to refer to what Marge Higgs is saying online. Okay, Cindy, what's going on?
Okay, hi, Brad. Welcome back. Happy to see you in good health.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, so my question is about the charts on the visa bulletin. I noticed that the date for filing, the second one, is 6 weeks away from the 1 year threshold of my priority date. Does that make sense?
What is your priority date?
April 22, 2013.
Okay, and you are F1 or F2B? What are you talking about?
F1.
F1. They're up to May 8th, 2011.
But that's the first chart. I'm talking about the dates for filing one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be if you're in the United States and you're eligible to adjust your status. They would accept your adjustment earlier with those dates. If you're doing something like a provisional waiver and you're out of status and ineligible to adjust your status, then you're waiting on the 2011 date.
Okay, so that means, what? How am I eligible? I have to have an approved petition?
You need an approved I-130. Are you out of status right now?
No, I'm not.
You're in legal status?
Yes.
What is your status right now?
Just visiting. I came up 2 weeks ago for vacation.
Okay,
so
one second. My computer's frozen. What date are they up? Tell me the date again that they're up to.
They are at March 8, 2012,
and
which is 6 weeks away from April 22.
Okay, assuming they reach April 22 before you leave the country and fall out of status. I don't want you to overstay your time. And assuming you wait at least 90 days from your entry, you would be eligible to adjust your status here. You know,
Oh, well, the thing is, I haven't yet been approved.
How have you not been approved if it was filed 5 years ago?
That's the same question I'm asking.
All right, then you need to. It should have been approved already, so you need to contact us and see what's going on.
Okay, and contacting you.
How do you do it? You're doing it right now. You're contacting me, and I'm going to put you on hold, and you're going to set up a consultation. So because someone has to look to see why this case was not approved yet. It's 5 years. It should have been approved. Okay, hold on. Let's go to Denise in the Bronx.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay, my question
I was just doing
is,
selfies with Kim in between you saying hello. Yes.
Okay. I'm currently married to my husband, who was married before. In 2011, he received his 2-year green card, and in 2013, he filed for an I-751.
This was from the prior. He did this through the prior wife. Is that what you're saying?
Through what list?
Through the prior wife. He did all this with the prior wife.
Yes,
not through
through
you.
the prior wife.
Okay,
Right. And from 2013 to now, he has been under the security background check. But he divorced that wife that he was with last year.
And he's married to you now.
Yes.
Okay, so we gotta finish this case up, and if it's been since 2013, what needs to happen is something called a mandamus. A mandamus is a lawsuit against the federal government. You file it in district court. It's been 6 years already, and you're filing not for money. Usually you hear lawsuits are for money. This would be make a decision already. It's 6 years. That's way too long. And as soon as it gets filed, they'll make a decision in 90 days. I can almost assure you.
Okay.
All right, and then if he gets it, fabulous. If he doesn't, he's married to you, and we'll refile again. But he's just sitting around, waiting forever.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Come see me. All right, let's go to Khadija.
Yes, it is Khadija.
Khadija, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. What's going on?
I had a F1 visa, and I'm out of status. I'm married to an American citizen. And while filling out my paperwork, my 485 adjustment of status, I came across a question about if I worked illegally, without authorization, that is.
Uh-huh.
And I know the answer is yes, because I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking to a friend of mine who mentioned something about if you did claim you were a citizen, while you will...
All right. So what I would like you to do at this point is just not say another word. And I'm just going to tell you what the law is. All right? And the reason I don't want you to say another word is that we're not having a privileged conversation right now. Okay. So this is the law. If you are married to a United States citizen and you worked illegally, that is not a bar to getting a green card. If you if you answer the answer yes on that application, you would be telling the truth, and it doesn't prevent you from getting your green card. So you tell the truth. If you were to say no, and it's discovered that you worked illegally, now you committed a misrepresentation and a fraud, and now you would be denied. Separate and apart from that, it is a crime to make pretend you're a U.S. citizen when you're not. And if you have claimed that you were a U.S. citizen to get a benefit, which is to get a job, and you filled out an I-9 form and claimed to be a U.S. citizen, then that is a crime. You would have been admitting to a crime, which you wouldn't do on a live Facebook page. So if, in fact, that's what happened, that's a whole other ball of wax. If you just worked off the books or your employer knew you were out of status and, whatever, as long as you didn't claim to be a U.S. citizen in any paperwork, like an I-9 form or something like that, it's not a bar to getting a green card. It's fine. Okay? So what I would suggest you do before you do anything else and before you say anything else is hold on and let's have a privileged conversation about what happened. Let's go to Noel in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Brad, how you doing, man?
How are you?
First time on the show. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So I have a question. Just to I guess give you the idea of the question. So currently I'm a permanent resident under condition status. Right now I have an extension on my green card, and within, I should say, like October, I should be getting whether it's a letter or an approval for a letter for an interview or an approval
Why do you say?
for.
Why do you say in October you're going to get that? You have no idea when it's going to come. You just assume.
Well, I'm assuming because that's what I was told from the talking to immigration.
Yeah, they don't know. You're talking to an immigration operator. They don't have the slightest idea what they're saying. Okay, the point is you have no idea when this interview is going to come. Nobody knows.
Right.
Okay, so what is the question?
So that's what I'm waiting for, the interview to come up.
I understand.
So, but the issue, the problem is right now is that unfortunately, me and my wife are separated, and we're possibly going through a divorce.
Okay, so this is the issue. When you get your interview, you need to show up with either a wife and prove you live together, or you show up with a divorce and say we were living together. Here's the proof, but we're now divorced. There's no in betweens. So.
Okay.
Either you and your wife are going to work it out. She's going to come back to the marital home. You're going to figure out how to live together. And when the interview happens, a lot of people, it's okay to have a fight. It's okay to separate and come back. Those are legitimate, real marriages. Happens. What's not okay is for you to show up to an interview, say, my wife and I are separated. I don't know where the heck she is. She's not coming here to help. You're looking at a denial. Now, so if you're going to show up to the interview alone and your wife doesn't want to help anymore and you're not living together, then at that point, you need to show up with a divorce. So this is the put up or shut up moment. Either you and your wife are going to get back together and work it out, or you and your wife are going to get divorced. It's the put up or shut up moment at this very time.
Okay, no in between, just either or.
Correct. And by the way, there is a rule and regulation that says that if you're separated, your wife can show up and you can say you're separated. Immigration never buys that. I'm just telling you reality. Okay? So when the wife shows up and they're separated and we were living together, but now we're not, and they're interviewing you and they're interviewing your wife, you're looking, immigration officer's going to be like, I don't know, I'm sending you to an immigration judge, you're getting deported. That's 99% what happens. So in a realistic reality setting, either you and your wife are going to figure it out, or you and your wife are going to get divorced. It's my opinion, my legal opinion.
All right, thank you so much, Brad. I appreciate it.
All right, and let us know what's going on. Hold on. All right, let's go to, what is this? Groundhog says there's only 89 shares, Kim.
That's right.
86 shares.
86 shares.
Not even 89.
No, it's 86 whole shares. Yesterday we did 700. You guys not only did 700, you did 300 of those shares
in the last 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, you know what happens with this Brad Squad?
They don't get money.
You don't bribe them.
We don't bribe them. They don't do it.
They want to be bribed for everything.
They do. We've set a precedent.
Yes.
We've set a precedent.
Meanwhile, I just have to. By the way, Marge Higgs, who's sweetest lady in the world.
Cannot wait to have dinner with
But
Grandma.
she gave me a comment all caps.
All caps to you?
She gave me all capped comment. So I have to make sure that I address it.
What did she say?
It's not G-W-O-N, Guan.
Yeah.
It's Guan, G-W-A-N-E.
She did.
She says, don't spoil it, Brad.
She did.
All caps. I butchered the patois language. I understand.
To which I replied,
Wagwan.
I
can't say it. I can't say it right.
I'm not even gonna. I was like, this is exactly why I don't even try. And then everybody in the comments were like, it's so funny when foreigners try it. I'm
That's
not
right.
even. No, français ou rien du tout. Français, anglais. These are the things I can do.
Just tell them to, you tell them in French.
Ooh, I'm not.
Okay, this is that if they make fun of me talking about patois any longer, you're gonna hit them over the head with a baguette. Say that in French, angry, with a baguette.
OK. Si vous nous ennuyez encore avec cette nonsense de patois, on va vous harceler avec une baguette. Avec une baguette, Brad Squad.
Well, you sound so angry.
Listen, you told me angry.
Okay,
Okay.
All right, let's go to Edward. Edward in Detroit, Michigan. Edward.
Yes, hi, Brad. How are you?
How are you? What's going on?
Good. I got a question. I've been in America since 2001, and right now I'm holding a status withholding removal. Is any hope for me to get a green card somehow? Can I reopen my case, or what's
You've been ordered deported.
I've never been deported.
Tell me again what happened. Maybe I misunderstood.
I went to court, and the judge granted the case withholding removal, whatever that means or whatever that is. I have no idea. So
okay, so he gave you withholding of removal, which was basically that you had some sort of fear of returning to your home country. Where are you from?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Albania.
Okay, so you're from Albania. There was some sort of fear of returning to your home country, except you didn't qualify for asylum. If you qualified for asylum, then you would have been able to get a green card. But withholding of deportation basically says that we'll let you live here for the rest of your life, but if you leave, you self-deport and you don't get a green card. The answer is is there any hope? Sometimes there's always hope to try to reopen your case. I don't know. I don't know enough about your case. I would actually have to review everything about your case to see if there would be a way to reopen it. And then if there is, then we can talk about it. The first step in all of these situations, the first step is what we would do is what's a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request, get a copy of all your immigration records and review it. It's like going to a doctor and saying, doctor, I just went to another doctor and he said, I have cancer. Can you cure me? And the doctor says, well, can I look at your blood work and your x-rays and CAT scans before I tell you? So I don't know. So, if you want to try that, go through that process of me getting the records, reviewing it, doesn't hurt you. Nothing bad happens to you. It's just time and money. And we'll see what we can do. Hold on.
Another question. Can I lose what I have though? If I reopen my case, can I lose what I have? Like withholding removal status, or no?
That would be extraordinarily unlikely. But of course, we would go through all the scenarios before we would do anything for you.
Because I don't want to lose what I have.
Of course not. You don't want to get in a worse position. Of course not.
What about business-wise? Because I do have some rental properties. I've been working since I came to America. I paid tax. I've never been in trouble in my life.
Fabulous.
I go by the law.
Fabulous. That doesn't help you get it. We still have to reopen the case somehow and then figure out how you would be eligible for a green card. We would have to figure that one out. That's why I said I got to look at your records first.
All right.
All right. Hold on. Let's go to Jillian in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Jillian, how are you? Jillian.
Hello?
Hi, Jillian.
Hi. Good evening. I'm calling to ask a question, right, about my immigration status. I'm married for 14 years, and I have 2 kids in the country, and my husband is a U.S. citizen. He born here. He's American. And I'm filing my papers on spousal abuse and abandonment, and I can't get my papers. I only can get my work permit, and that this is like the 5th time renewing my work permit.
Did you file an adjustment?
Hello?
Yeah, you're filing your case based on abuse. You filed an adjustment application, and you're renewing your work permit 5 times, which means that a work permit.
This is like the 5th time.
Okay, so a work permit is valid for a year. So what you're saying to me is that your case for VAWA case, your Violence Against Women Act, your abuse case, has been pending for more than 5 years. That is a problem. It should not be taking 5 years to get a green card. You're right by saying something is wrong. And yes, something is wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but something is wrong.
Okay, last year, on May 16 last year, I supposed to go to interview for my green card, that they maybe grant me my green card, go to the court case, the hearing, and when I go,
so you're in a removal hearing. You're going to a judge. That's why it's taking so long. Now I understand. You're in removal. Removal takes time. I don't know the answer why your case is taking 5 years. I don't have an answer.
I'm married like 14 years. I'm married.
It doesn't matter if you were married 100.
Like from 2011.
1 second. It doesn't matter if you're married 105 years. I don't know the procedure, the procedural history of your case to tell you what went wrong. Okay? All I know is it's been 5 years. That's all I know. I don't know any more than that. So we would need to look at the procedural history of your case and then tell you, A, this is where it went off the tracks, and B, this is how we get it back on the tracks. But I don't know. There's be no way of me knowing on a live show what went wrong. Okay, so if you want my help, hold on 1 second. Let's go to Marie in Baltimore. Marie.
Hi, Brad. Wagwan.
Wagwan. We should have maybe what we need to do is get the Brad squad to give me a patois lesson. Okay? We'll get some Brad squad people we'll do patois, English to patois lesson or patois to English lessons for me.
Okay.
Right?
Well, you're doing real good, honey.
I'm trying my best. Trying my best. All right, what's going on?
Yeah. I'd like to know, I'm a permanent resident since December 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And I normally file joint tax return with my husband. However, this year I did not file tax. So I would like to know, we did not file joint this year. So I would like to know if I could file for my mom. I could file for citizenship.
When did you get your green card?
December 2015.
You would not be able, unless you're filing joint taxes, you would have to go back and amend your taxes. But other than that, you would have to wait until October of 2019 to December of 2015. You got it?
Yes.
So then you would have to wait till October of 2020 before you file your citizenship, because you're not going to be able, you don't have a joint tax return. Without a joint tax return, you can't file based on 3 years of having a green card. You have to wait 5.
Okay, just in case I want to go back filing with him,
you would have to show you live together. Part of living together is you have a joint tax return, but that wouldn't be the
only way.
The only way. That would be one of many things you would have to do, including prove you're living together with him. And so if you're not living with him, don't bother.
We are living together.
Okay, so then fine. So then then it's a simple thing. All right, hold on, and Carmela, who's our tax attorney, we'll fix it all for you, and then you'll be able to do your citizenship. All right, so hold on 1 second. All right, hold on.
Okay.
All right. So with that, I have one announcement before we get to the grannies. I have an announcement. Okay. People are asking, I see in the comments, where are the T-shirts? They haven't gotten the T-shirts yet.
They are.
Okay. So the last time we did T-shirts, we ordered them sight unseen.
We did.
And we didn't like them.
We did not.
So we asked our T-shirt vendor.
We have a T-shirt guy.
Right. We have it all designed to send us the T-shirt so we can confirm we like it. We want to send out a good product.
Right. We want to see it in the real life.
So about 10 days ago, the T-shirt guy who's up in the Bronx says he put the T-shirt in the mail for us to view.
Okay.
We still haven't received it yet in the mail. To okay it. Once it's okayed, they're all going to go out to everybody.
NYC USPS working slow.
So Jilly Bean told me.
Yeah.
She said he is going to make a special trip down to our office tomorrow to drop off the T-shirt. We will okay it, assuming we like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we want to make sure the quality, it's not, we don't want to send itchy T-shirts to people.
No, we want a soft, nice looking T-shirt.
Correct. So we're going to double check it. We'll okay it by Monday, and then they should all start going out immediately to everybody.
Glorious.
Okay.
That sounds like a plan.
All right. So with that said, grannies.
Bradshaw Live granny correspondent.
Granny correspondents. We love them. Okay. So everybody remembers the grannies. They started off, at least one caravan started off they're starting caravans from all over.
Yeah.
The grannies. They're heading on their way down to the border of Mexico and the United States, to Texas, McAllen, Texas, to protest the separation of families. These are mostly American-born, some are naturalized, but mostly American-born grandmas who are saying what's going on with immigration is wrong. And they're being followed by the news. They're also being followed by Bradshaw Live. We have correspondents embedded in many different caravans.
We do.
Okay, we've got caravans coming from the west, the east, the south, and the north.
Yep.
Let's watch where the grannies are today.
Hi, this is Claire for the Brad Live Show, and we are now in Louisville. We just got here. We're outside the Muhammad Ali Museum in a little amphitheater area, and we're getting ready to have some speakers. As you can see, there's a lot of people here with a lot of signs that are supporting us. We're very, very excited about being in Louisville and partnering up and listening to some speakers. This is our banner that Louisville did with us.
That's right.
Yep. See this? They put it on the overhang as we were driving through. Warm welcome! Here we go. Grannies, welcome to Louisville. There we go. This is for the Brad Live Show. Yes, there we go. All right. Thank you very much.
Good morning. This is Rafia, Granny Rafia for Brad Show Live. You see, we have arrived in Alabama. We just made a stop, and we actually joined some more grannies from the Atlanta Grannies for Peace. So I'm going to head over and introduce everybody to the grandmothers from Atlanta.
I'm Reed. This is my lovely wife, Barbara.
And I'm in
this house.
Yeah, and I'm in Grandmothers for Peace, like you said, and we're both in the Democratic Socialists of America also.
And I am also with Veterans for Peace.
Atlanta Grandmothers for Peace on their way to Montgomery to join Grannies Respond, Abuelos Responding. Thank you so much.
This is Granny Sharon on the road with the Grannies, and today we're going to talk to Granny Janet Blair, who will drive the bus when we get to lunch. Talk to me about how you where you drove the bus yesterday and how long. Do you remember?
About 3 hours.
And did you drive it into Louisville then? Or did Dan?
Not, because I don't want to drive in the city. I'll do all the highway driving.
Well, that's how I would do it. And what brings you on this trip?
Well, initially, my son invited me. He organized it. Because I'll be honest, I've never done anything like this. I've never done any activist, things And he said, "Do you want to come along?" And I thought, it's something I could do.
Yeah.
And show support to these families and children. I really am passionate about this. I follow it.
Is there a way to search for
obviously
breast
in the news. I just am appalled at what our country is doing.
Yeah.
It's
Where do you want to find one? Just on the route?
Well, are you as amazed as I am about how we're all on the same page and we come from different places?
It is very amazing.
It is. Inspiring to me.
It is. I don't know any of these women at all.
Why arrest them?
Do you feel like we've all been friends for a while? Because we're all on the same page? Yeah.
It's been exciting and inspiring because we're all going for the same reason.
Thank you. We're traveling with some other embedded journalists here, and there's lots of interviewing going on. And Roya is back here doing work. So that's all I have for right now.
So those were the grannies, Kim. So we saw, just as a recap, we saw Granny Claire arriving in Louisville, Kentucky yesterday. And then they had the rally at the Muhammad Ali Museum.
Mm-hmm.
So they left Louisville for Alabama this morning. We saw Granny Sharon on one of the vans. That's what we just saw.
Yep.
She actually had to rent another van to leave from Louisville because there were too many grannies for one van.
Oh, that's an amazing.
So now they had to rent a second van to fit all the grannies in it. And she estimates now that from the New York granny caravan, there's about 60 grannies.
Oh my God.
Just from the New York.
Just from that one?
Just from the New York. We also saw Granny Rafia, who yesterday was leaving Atlanta, and she joined the Atlanta grannies. They're called the Atlanta Grandmothers for Peace. And that caravan is headed to Montgomery, Alabama, where they reached sometime today. And tomorrow they're going to meet at the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. And that memorial was conceived with the hope of creating a meaningful site where people can gather and reflect on America's history of racial inequality. From there, sometime tomorrow, they're going to head off to New Orleans, Houston for Sunday, over the weekend, and then on Monday, all the grannies from all the different caravans from all over the United States will arrive in McAllen, Texas.
My God.
Yes.
This is amazing. I'm so happy we're following them on their journey. I love our granny correspondents.
So, Kim, before we get to social media, just ask people to share one last time, and then we're going to get to our social media. Let them know that this is the social media part. This is where everybody loves social media.
Everybody loves it.
Okay, tell them to share with their friends and family.
You guys, it's so easy to share. You just hit that little arrow and you share the show on people's timelines, on your own timeline. You can invite people to come watch the show. You can even tag people in the comments that's like, hey, come watch this. They're answering your immigration questions right now. Share. Right now we are up to 104 shares, which is not bad, but we can do much better.
Did 700 yesterday.
We did 700
because we bribed them.
Because we bribed them.
Correct.
I think without bribing, what do you think we can get to?
200.
I think we can do that. I would even go 300. I think you guys can get to 300
I think we'd be lucky if we get to 200 without a bribe.
Prove me wrong, family.
Let's go to social media check-in. We're going to answer all your questions first from YouTube, then Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Excuse me. Coughing.
Don't cough. Does he need water?
No. Let's do that again because I coughed right through the whole thing.
Right through the intro.
Yeah. Let's go to social media check-in where we're going to be answering your questions from YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Apparently they're not listed. Oh, there they go. And it's called social media check-in. All right, what do we got?
Our first questions from Instagram are, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for Instagram. I just realized I was ready for YouTube. I got flummoxed.
You got the wrong phone.
I got flummoxed, Brad. Our first question is from Hershey, and Hershey wants to know, how many months does it take to get your green card once you're married to a citizen?
Depends where you are, but figure about 9 months.
Queen says, could an immigration lawyer help you obtain your green card, or do you have to get married?
Well, getting married is a way to get a green card, and you still may want to have an immigration lawyer, but you may also want to go to an immigration lawyer to find out what other options you have.
Zame says, in case of marriage to a U.S. citizen, do you need to go back if you've overstayed your tourist visa?
No, you would be able to adjust your status here.
Risha says, if you have someone that committed a crime over 32 years ago, can an American citizen still file for them as a spouse?
Depends the crime. If it's a drug crime, no. Other crimes, maybe.
Diane said, what rate is the possibility of an H-1B transfer rejection?
If you're eligible, you shouldn't be rejected at all. You're part of the cap. So you're not going to be denied because you're not in the cap unless you already reached your 6 years. As long as you have a equivalent of a bachelor's degree and that degree is related to the job that you're doing, and you were working through your H-1B at the proper company at the proper rate up until the point of your transfer, it should be approved.
We've got Kaylee who said, do you think amnesty will pass while 45 is in office?
I think we have a better chance of Santa Claus coming to your home to deliver a green card than amnesty passing while 45 is the president of the United States.
Santa Claus doesn't even have to come down the chimney. Just walk through your door and hand you a green card. Yeah. Right. Chamor says, my married spouse, a married spouse is filing for their wife. I filed last year in October and I still haven't gotten an interview date. Do you have any idea when that could come down?
Sometime in the fall.
Kaylee says, can someone call ICE to pick up an undocumented person? And if they do, would ICE actually show up?
They can. Unlikely ICE would show up, but it depends on how busy they are.
Okay, that's all we got on Instagram.
All right, so YouTube.
YouTube.
By the way, what is our Instagram? Our Instagram
handle?
Handle.
At Brad Show Live.
And what are you going
It's
to
so
what are you
easy.
going to see on Instagram?
You're going to see cool behind the scenes posts, clips from the show that you may have missed, and the best part is stories that are recapping the show that you may have missed yesterday, all of the best highlights. We also have new episodes on IGTV.
Yes.
Because we're so cutting edge.
So cool.
Oh my God, we're the coolest.
YouTube.
Please
subscribe.
Subscribe on YouTube. Brad Show Live.
Right.
Shockingly, M. Persaud says, if you have 2 illegal entries, would you qualify for parole in place if you're the spouse of a military?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Yaya said, yesterday's show was great, guys. Very inspiring.
Thank you.
Thanks, Yaya.
That's it?
No, she said, my asylum was denied in 2002. An asylum officer issued an NTA. The judge ordered the removal and at the same time granted the withholding of removal. I came to the U.S. with someone else's passport, married a U.S. citizen, and now hold TPS. What are my options?
Well, that's similar to the Albanian guy who called.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have the withholding, you are ordered deported, but you're allowed to live here. If you were to leave the country, you would self-deport. So the option is you got to figure out a way to reopen your case. And I don't know, what that option would be, how to reopen your case until we review all of your records. That would be the first step.
Terry Ann said, if a stepfather who's an American citizen files for a child, how long will they have to wait to receive the green card for the 4-year-old child to attend school? The I-130 was approved in March of this year.
Who's filing for who?
So a stepfather is filing for a 4-year-old.
Where's the 4-year-old? Here?
Here, in the States.
Should be able to adjust status. Should be able to go to school right away.
Right.
I don't know what the problem is.
If they're adjusting their status, do they still... The I-130 was right, though, right?
Yes, but you also should have an I-45. And even if you weren't adjusting your status, a 4-year-old goes to school no matter what. You don't leave a 4-year-old home to go stupid. So
Right.
you go, whether legal or not, you're 4, you go to school. 5 at 5.
Go to
5
school.
is kindergarten. Yeah.
Right, but go to school.
Correct.
Gemini B wants to know from YouTube, I applied for an adjustment of status and work permit in August of last year, so about a year ago. USCIS claimed they sent my work permit card in the mail, but I haven't received anything. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. What do I do?
Contact the post office. If it's still, you don't have it, then you're going to have to reapply for a new one if it wasn't returned to USCIS.
Flirty Candy wants to know if someone's former spouse signed a statement saying the marriage was a fake during the interview, how does it affect your current marriage application?
If somebody signed saying that the first marriage was fake, the presumption is it was a fake marriage. In 1986, the immigration laws changed. It said if you enter into a fake marriage and there's evidence of it, you never get a green card for the rest of your life. There's no waivers, nothing. You're a dead duck. Now, just because a spouse signs a paper saying it is a fraudulent marriage doesn't necessarily mean it's a fraudulent marriage. If in fact, for example, Flirty Candy, is that her name?
Flirty Candy.
Flirty Candy. If in fact, Flirty Candy, it was a fraudulent marriage, you're screwed. You can't prove something was real that was fraudulent. If, on the other hand, your ex-husband wrote something that's not true, he perjured himself, you have the right to rebut what he said. Just because he said it doesn't mean that's the gospel. You have absolutely every right to come into immigration and prove he's a liar. I've had 6 friends, my sister, my brother, my cousin. They all say it was real. They came and visited us. We went to the movies together. We hung out at the house for Thanksgiving. I don't know, whatever they know, however they know it's real. Maybe even you find your ex-husband and he recants. He says, maybe, I was under pressure. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. Every case is different. I'm making stuff up, obviously. Okay, but you have a right to rebut it. So if it was a real marriage and the husband was a liar, you have to rebut it. If it was a fake marriage, there's nothing to rebut. They found you out. It was fake. You're never going to be legal in America.
Reginald Amata said, I have my green card over 10 years now. I'm still legally married, but we're not living together anymore. My citizenship interview is August 28th. My wife is saying that she will not give me her birth certificate. Do I really need to prove that the person I'm married to is a citizen?
Is the wife filing for him?
Yeah, so he said he's had his green card 10 years now, but it sounds like he's naturalizing.
Oh, no, you don't need it. You don't need it to naturalize.
Michael Angelo says, if I get my green card interview on the same month or a month after my 2-year wedding anniversary, will that make me eligible to receive the 10-year green card instead of the 2-year conditional?
It's not when you get the green card, it's when you approve for the green card. So if they approve the green card after the 2nd-year anniversary, then yes, you would get a 10-year card.
Anne said, if a child wants to file an adjustment of status for the parent, what are the forms that need to be used?
I-485, I-130, I-864, I-130A, I-765, I-131.
Matthew says, if you just leave the USA, even though your green card is expired, do they let you go or are they going to detain you?
They let you go.
Right. If you don't want to be here,
to go.
Go.
They're happy you're leaving.
Yeah, exactly. Jackie said, how long should it take to get your green card after the 2-year has expired, and how many years extensions do they give or should they give you?
It should take 18 months, but people sometimes wait over 2 years.
Wow. Faye said, good evening. I filed for my children in 2014 and I'm still waiting. I've gotten no reply. It's been 5 years. Can you help?
How'd she apply for the green card?
She filed for her children.
How old are the children?
We don't know.
If the children are under 21, they should be here. If they're over 21, there's nothing to help. You got about another 2-3 years of waiting.
We have another question from, sorry, I got out of order. From Abal, who says, how long does it take to get approval after filing a motion to reopen a deportation proceeding?
Sometimes it takes months. I've seen sometimes it takes years.
Oh, wow. Gemini said, October of this year will make 2 years since my husband and I have been married. The papers have been filed for 1 year to adjust the status. About how long do you think we're going to have to wait until we get interviewed?
Should be soon.
Ooh, soon. I like soon.
I don't know the exact day, but should be soon. Sounds like it should be coming out.
I'm going to read this name verbatim.
Okay.
Betsy Biatch wants to know.
Biatch.
Betsy Biatch.
B-I-T-C-H?
B-Y-O-T-C-H.
B-Y-O-T-C-H. B-Y-O.
B-Y-O-T-C-H.
Right. Biatch.
Biatch. Betsy Biatch. I'm
Yes.
so sorry. You must really struggle through life with that.
Yeah. Maybe that's not her real...
I kind of hope for her it's not her real name.
It's like Britney. You know, like Britney...
Spears?
Spears, yeah.
Like it's... Oh,
You
it's
know.
Britney. I see
yeah,
what you're doing.
right.
I would have loved for you to just do it. Betsy said, if someone committed a crime, can a spouse file for them?
Depends what the crime is.
Right. We just said that. Kanbi said, I heard someone saying the Trump administration is trying to stop out-of-status immigrants from getting married to citizens here in the U.S. unless the citizen follows the out-of-status immigrant to his country. How true is that?
Not true.
Zero truth. Don't
Zero
listen
truth.
to they.
Yes.
They are always lying.
What was my legal advice yesterday?
In legal speak?
Yeah.
That's bullshit?
That's bullshit.
Kanbi says, Donette said, if you file for your citizenship and there was an error on the form, are they going to return the form or?
No, you would have to correct the error at the interview. They're going to continue the interview.
Fantastic news. Nicola said, if you came here on an H-2B and you're now out of status, how long is it going to take if your son or daughter file for you?
About 9 to 10 months.
Clarette said, when you filed and you were denied because of not having a good affidavit of support, what do you do?
Refile again with a better affidavit of support.
Lori said, hi, I got married last year, July of 2017, filed in September, got my work permit in December, just a few months later. I'm still waiting for an interview, though. How can we speed up the process? I really want to go home to the Philippines to see my family. Could you help me out?
You get an advance parole. You can travel with the advance parole, but we can't speed up the adjustment. You can go home and travel with the advance parole.
So options, not to
Correct.
speed up, but to
Correct.
see the fam.
Correct.
Jen says, I'm a school teacher for 4 years here in the U.S. on a J1 visa. I'm expected to go home next year in June of 2019 because of the 2-year rule in my visa. I've been an asset in the States since, and there is a nationwide teacher crisis in the U.S. Could you help me become a permanent resident?
What happened?
She's a teacher, and she's saying that she's got a 2-year rule on her.
She's got the J1.
Yes, correct.
Right, so she has a 2-year home residence requirement. She has to remove that first step before I help her become a resident. But yes, we can help and do both. I'm just reading Dawn Harriet's. We can put Dawn Harriet's. We love Dawn. This show is not only an immigration show, but a comedy show too. Big up to the comedians, them.
Because it's Brittany Biatch.
Yes. Yes.
That's adorable.
Yes.
Tamika said she was willing to share you with the world, by the way.
Thank you very much.
How very generous,
Yes,
Tamika.
yes.
Jinky said, hi, I'm Jinky. Hi, Jinky.
Hi, Jinky.
I filed for my mom and my sister, but my mom got approved and my sister didn't. My mom got the approved application, but not her visa. What have I done? What can I do so that my sister and my mom can fly together?
What do you mean? Who got the visa?
So Jinky filed for mom and sister. Mom got it, sister didn't.
You can't file Jinky. You can only file for mom. Can't file for sister. Sister's not included. Mom comes. Mom turns around, files an F2A for sister. She'll come back 2 years later.
So they are not
There
going to
you
be
have
flying
it.
together.
Mhm.
Sigel says,
We have a lot of questions today.
listen, we can keep going forever. You know,
Oh my
we take
gosh.
them from everywhere. You
Oh my
just
gosh.
tell me when you're at
All right, so
immigration question
we're-
overload.
We're at overload.
You're at overload.
All right, so let's go. We got John and Jelly, and then we got to get to Yo-Yo. We got a lot of.
We have John, Jelly, and
then
Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go to John in New York, New York. John. What happened?
Hey, Brad, how are you?
They got me back on Perv Corner there for a second. John, how are you? What's going on?
I'm good. I have a question. I have a little situation I want to tell you about. So I filed my papers from December 2016. Me and my wife, and we went for an interview, and basically they approved the I-130, and they approved the I-485. Then they sent us a paper that my medical was expired, and when I submitted to them a new medical, they said they didn't get it and they denied the case. So they sent me a denial letter.
All right, so you have an I-130 approved, but they denied the adjustment, so you would have to do it again.
So would I be required to do an interview again?
Yeah, unfortunately. And what I would suggest you do is, if you did it on your own, you look what happened when you did it on your own. Let's do it with an attorney this time and make sure you get it done right.
Okay, John. Okay, Brad.
Come in to see me. Let's go to Jelly in Queens. Jelly.
Hi.
Hi, Jelly.
Hi, John. Brad.
Okay.
So this is what's going on with me.
Yes.
I've been married for a year, in October coming, and my husband came up on a J1 visa, and he's been here for 2 years. And we went to all types of lawyers and stuff, and nobody knows what's the procedure, how to go about it. And it's really frustrating because I don't want to lose my baby, you know what I mean? I don't want him to be deported. I just want to get everything together and help him.
I know the procedure. You don't have to go any further. Come see me.
Okay.
Hold on. All right. All the lawyers don't know the procedure.
I love that we tell them to turn Facebook
Yes.
down whenever they call, but
Right.
keep watching.
By the way,
Brad is-
I have a bone to pick with Tamika. She says it looks like I'm ready to leave.
Why?
I don't know why. I'm not ready to leave. I'm enjoying myself.
Because we overloaded you with immigration questions.
Oh, jeez. I'm enjoying myself.
But I
I'm not
mean,
ready to leave.
Yeah, and he stopped taking social media questions to answer more immigration questions
Come
on the phone.
Brad looks like he's ready to go. Where am I going?
No.
I got nowhere to go.
No. What?
Nowhere to go.
What better place could there be, Brad?
So with that, see you all. No, I'm only kidding. We're not leaving. All right. So, Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo.
Here we have another installment of Yo-Yo on the 7 train.
Mhm.
That's what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that installment?
I love those installments.
Yeah. So the 7 train is for those of you who
What's
don't.
up, Brad Squad? It's your boy Yonathan Elias, and today we're doing the 7
It's your boy Yonathan Elias. Jonathan wanted his little moment in there.
You know what we call that? Oops.
I call it a Groundhog Sam takeover.
Oops, I did it again.
Ooh, we're so Britney themed.
Oops, I did it again. I made up my mind.
Did you get lost in the game?
I got lost in the game.
Ooh, baby, baby.
Oh, baby, baby. All right, so the 7 train is the, for those of you who don't know, to the borough of Queens is dubbed the International Express because it serves a span of interconnected neighborhoods bustling with immigrants and new Americans from across the globe. I'm reading this right here.
Okay.
You can find food from literally every corner of the world along the 7 train trail. Have you ever done the 7 train?
I have not.
It's really, you can go on the 7 train and it's basically the United Nations.
Like go through the world.
You go through the world, right.
Oh, I can't
So we
wait.
send Yo-Yo on the 7 train,
Yeah.
okay, to find out what's going on with all the different cultures. Basically, almost every culture in the world you can find off of the 7 train in Queens.
Yeah.
Previously, he went to an Italian restaurant called Daisy's. So this time, we sent him out to a Mexican restaurant called La Flor, where he met Chef Vico Ortega, who opened his Mexican spot in 2000. Chef Vico's touch is all over his restaurant, from the mosaics on the tables he created himself to his grandmother's mole recipe. Mole?
Mole.
Mole. Oh, I don't want to eat moles. Boy, it's that recipe's so old it has mold on it. No, mole. Mole.
Chocolate,
Right.
spice,
Reminds
amazing
me
sauce.
of Mel Brooks when he's the French king in the movie.
It's Good to Be the King.
It's good to be the king, and
Yeah.
he says, "Count the money, count the money." No, it's count de monnaie.
De Monet.
Chef Vico comes from a place called Pena Colorado, near Pueblo, Mexico, a town so small it doesn't even exist on a map. So he shared his American dream story and some of his culinary specialties with Yonathan. Let's watch.
What's up, Brad Squad? It's your boy Yonathan Elias, and today we're doing the 7 Train Trail. Remember, the 7 Train is also known as the International Express, and that's because it connects different cultures and communities of immigrants from all over the world. That means there's a lot of good food, all right? Today we're gonna go to Woodside, Queens. That's the 52nd Street stop off the 7 Train. All right, I'm gonna take you to the Mexican juggernaut, La Flor. Chef Vico is gonna tell us his American dream and also cook us some of his specialties. I can't wait, so let's go right now. I'm hungry.
Thank you so much for having us.
Pleasure is mine.
This is your first restaurant, right?
First and only.
Wow.
This is my baby. This is my drink. When I was building the place, I was building some flowers. And we was to discuss how to call the business. So it's called La Flor.
Wow. So that's how you got it.
That's how it comes, yeah, with the name, La Flor Restaurant.
So I know you have a lot of secret recipes from your grandmother, right? And you implement it in your food here?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. Like, you still keep the culture alive, your family alive. And what's your favorite dish to make?
I think as when you cook with passion, you don't have a favorite dish. You just love what you do. Then you put a lot of imagination. You combine flavors, so you don't really have a favorite dish. This is kind of like a pesto sauce or chimichurri. It's a parsley, garlic, and olive oil. You get the smoky flavor of the grill. My backyard where I have all my spices and all my herbs. I think I'm the only chef that use always lemon juice for all my salads. For some reason in my little town, if you're sick of the stomach or you have anything, they give you lemon juice. Tomato bruschetta with burrata cheese. It's the freshest mozzarella that you can find. It's almost like a butter. That's fresh basil from the garden. And here you have tomato bruschetta with burrata cheese.
You have a very, very interesting immigration story. I would love to talk to you about that. Can you tell me about that?
Why not? The first time I crossed was in 1986. And then I used to go back every year, go and come back, like go to New Jersey and, and come here. It was that easier. The last time was in 1991.
And you were coming in and out illegally?
In and out illegally. I think the third time immigration catch me. So the guy, told me, listen, maybe later you have more luck, try again. Say, okay. So that was like a noon. Yeah, by 5 p.m. I try again. And I make it up. Yeah, I was in Douglas, Arizona. One of the things I really like to do on life is try to use fresh ingredients. Try to use ingredients that they are on season.
Okay.
Like obviously, I have the basic things on the menu, like my base menu, but every 2 or 3 months or every 2 or 3 weeks, I try to use whatever is on season. Figs is on season right now. They're amazing, sweet, ripe, yes, ready to eat. And one of my favorite dishes, grilled figs stuffed with gorgonzola cheese. Balsamic vinegar reduced with some spices such as cinnamon, star anise, ginger, cranberry juice. Those are figs.
When were you able to actually get your papers? How many years did that take?
It took me for 17 years.
17 years. Do you feel like you're living your American dream because of that?
I do. It's not because of that. I think it's because it gives me the peaceful. So now I can bring my mom here, or I can go back and stay there. That gives me more freedom to do my job.
So I'm gonna try this now.
Yeah, and the cheese is just melt in your mouth. It's amazing. Yeah.
The cheese literally is like butter, like you
butter.
said.
Yeah, butter.
I'm telling you, you need like the ocean in front of you, a glass of wine, and someone real pretty next to you. So I've never had fig before.
But you like cheese?
I love cheese.
Yeah. That combination is just amazing.
This right here, fig and cheese. Never had this one. Wow. Okay, another one. I have to do another one. 3 for good luck. And you like to travel?
Well, I have to travel because of my job. And then I travel, because they give me the chance to make to taste different flavors.
So now, the quesadilla. It's thick.
Yeah, it's all vegetables.
All vegetables. The cheese is already like, look at that.
The main thing is zucchini blossom.
You can definitely taste the freshness of all of the vegetables in this. The zucchini, the squash, and stuff. Like, you can really taste it.
Wow, I am speechless and full, but a grateful. Chef Vico definitely showed us his hospitality and all of his talents. That was some good food. You guys must try it over here, all right? 52nd Street stop on the 7 train. I'm telling you, La Flor is the place that you need to be at. Back to the studio.
All right, and Yo-Yo does love his food. That's what they're saying in the comments, and I happen to agree.
Man.
By the way, Chef Vico, he's also the co-owner and head chef of a few other food establishments as well. It's not just La Flor, including a steakhouse in Chelsea, which is in Manhattan, called Chuck and Blade, a popular bar in Chelsea, also called Buns Bar.
Buns Bar? That sounds like my kind of bar.
I think so.
I think I'm a fan of Buns Bar.
Maybe we should send Yo-Yo to Buns Bar.
Yeah, send me and Yo-Yo to Buns Bar.
And a chocolate chip cookie business called Chips Cookies.
Oh my God. Chef Vico killing the game.
It's quite an American dream. All right, so we have like 2 or 3 questions lingering on social media. Let's make sure we answer everybody's quickly.
Glorious. So we've got a couple more questions from YouTube. Tanya says, could you talk about financial hardships for waivers? Like, is a financial hardship enough if you have a large mortgage here and probably wouldn't be able to find a job to survive in your spouse's home country?
No, to get financial hardship for waivers.
I'm assuming yes. Can you talk about
that would be a hardship. Is that extreme and unusual? I'm not sure. Maybe if you add other hardships, you add them all up, in a full, multiple different types of hardships, and you could add it up. Maybe adding it all up would be extreme and unusual. But to say that I have a financial hardship because I have to pay a mortgage and I can't get a job in my husband's home country, I don't think that would be extreme and unusual. That would be a usual problem that people would have.
That a lot of people have.
Right. But that would be one of many hardships you would add up to make it extreme and unusual.
Gemini said, my mother is currently living in Jamaica. Her case has been sent to the visa center. What does this mean, and how long is it going to take for her to be interviewed?
It means the I-130 was approved and you're ready. You got to process through the National Visa Center. So once you're done processing through the National Visa Center, it's on you. You got to do the affidavit of support, the police records, and everything else. Then figure about 3 to 4 months for a visa appointment.
Jam said, hey, from Jamaica, I have a family member who recently got her visitor's visa canceled without prejudice while she was trying to go on a work program. What can be done?
Try to get a new visa because it was without prejudice. It means that you can try again.
And that's all we got.
All right. So now it is Friday.
It's Friday.
It's about 7:30.
It's about that time.
So before we leave, we have to get to our comments of the day.
Our favorite people.
Drum roll, please.
Yes. And our very first comment of the day goes to Carol Anderson the Tiger, who bright and early, right when the show started, said, Brad, you're on a timer on my phone. When it's 5:30 p.m., my alarm goes off so I can never miss my favorite show, The Brad Show. The Brad Squad Show, you guys are my family.
It's fabulous.
That's amazing.
Can you read that slower? Because I can't.
Absolutely.
I can't see it on the screen.
Yeah, I got you. Brad, you're on a timer on my phone. When it's 5:30 p.m., it's alarm time. So I can never miss my favorite show.
I love this.
The Brad Show.
I love this.
And the Brad Squad.
I love this.
You guys are my family.
What more can you ask for?
What more could you ask
right.
for?
We love you, Carol.
We love you, Carol.
Right.
And our second comment of the day comes from our very own Tamika Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
And Tamika's on a bus right now. But she can never miss Brad Show Live, so she's watching on the bus. And she said, I'm here watching the show, and a lady keeps peeking in. So I turn around and I said to her, you can look, hun, it's okay. And let her know all about the show.
Pass it on, the good word on a bus.
That's how we grow.
That's our Brad Squad. What you looking over my shoulder, lady?
Man. Yeah, keep it up. These people are great.
Isn't it weird sometimes when you just feel somebody's looking over your shoulder? It's like
like
weird.
You know it.
You know it. It's weird. Like you got eyes in the back of your head.
I know.
It's weird. It's like you feel their eyes on you. It's a weird sensation, isn't it? I don't know why you know that.
I was kind of staring at someone on the train the other day.
And then they saw you.
They turned around and we locked eyes like they knew that I had been staring at them.
Who is this crazy lady, right?
Right, exactly. And that was like, but then you have that split second where you lock eyes and then you're like, never mind, I wasn't even
right,
looking.
What was it? It was in Seinfeld. It's like the sun. You look and you look away. You don't stare.
Exactly.
All right, anything else?
That's all we got.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. We'll see you back live 5:30 on Monday, God willing. I'm sure God will be willing. We'll see you all. Be safe. Have fun. Have a great weekend. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?